Hey everyone, I'm Jazer. I play the piano. In this tutorial, I want to share with you a very simple exercise for beginners. It sounds amazing and beautiful. In fact, it almost doesn't really sound like an exercise, but an actual piece. This video is split into two segments. In the earlier part of the video, I want to do some explanations on chords and chord inversions before we get into the exercise in the later part of the video. If you want to jump straight into learning the exercise, click on the timestamps below. But otherwise, I suggest you to watch the entire video so you learn some music theory along the way as well. In this exercise, you are going to need 4 chords. The first chord is an E minor, E, G, and B. The second chord you need is C major. So C, E, and G. Third chord you need is a G major, which is G, B, and D. And the last chord you need is the D major, D. D, F sharp, and A. So just again, the 4 chords you need are E minor, C major, G major, and D major. Just be careful of this one, there's a black note in the middle here, F sharp. Just before we get into this exercise, I want to teach you something that will make this sound even more epic and refined. And this thing is called chord inversion. Now we all know that a chord or a triad are a group of 3 notes. If you want some tutorials on chords, you can click on this card over here. But let's use C major as an example. C, E, and G. This is the C major chord or C major triad. Now, this way of playing the C major is called the root position, right? It's the most basic form called the root position. However, there are also other ways to play C major. So I can also instead play this C up over here. So sounding like this. Right? This also is the C major sound. It's organized in a slightly different way, but it's still the same kind of sound. This is called the first inversion. And there's one more way of playing C major, which is then to put this E now at the top. So like this. This is the second inversion of C major. Are there any more inversions after that? No, because if you go up again, right, then it becomes C, E, and G, which is just our root position, but it's just now an octave higher. So far in this video, you've learned that basic chords generally have 3 ways of playing. There's the root position, there is the first inversion, and there is the second inversion. The reason I'm teaching you chord inversions today is because you're gonna need to use that in this exercise. In this exercise, both of your hands are going to be playing the same note, but let's start by learning our right hand parts first. So again, the first chord you need is the E minor. The second chord you need is the C, but in our exercise, instead of going down from the E minor down to the C like this, what I want to do is to keep this E and G, since they are the common notes between 2 of those chords, I'm just going to keep these here, and very, very conveniently, I'm going to move this B up to the C up here. Listen to this. How nice is that? Right? It's just got this sort of fluid and smoothness to it. So again, it goes like this. And next, C. And we're going to go now to the G. I've used the second inversion, so it's smoother as well. How about that? Okay, so if we didn't do this, by the way, those 3 chords, let me play what it would have been without the inversions. It would have been like this. Now that sounds fine, but if you did it like this, it just sounds much smoother, fluid, and refined. Okay, so far we've played 3 chords. We have the E minor, we have the C major, but we do first inversion. We have the G major, but in second inversion for smooth reasons. And then lastly, we have our D major. This is just in the root normal position. One more time, it's EGB. Next one is EGC. Then DGB. And lastly, D, F sharp, and A. This warm-up video actually consists of 4 methods to play these chords. Let's go through them together. Block chords, same direction, waves, and contrary direction. The first way is called block chords. So you're gonna play like this, left and right hand, the exact same notes, E, G, B first. So we'll play each of them 4 times. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're gonna move to our C chord. But remember, we have inverted it, so it's a bit smoother. And next is our G, second inversion chord. Beautiful. And lastly, D major. Now for beginners, this might be hard. Your hands might be struggling to sort of know which ones to press down. You might find yourself doing something like this. Like sort of everything is pressing down. But try to work on it. Like if it's too hard, maybe start with one hand first. Before you move to 2 hands. So we've just done method 1, which is block chords. The second method is called same direction. So what's happening in my hands are I'm playing bottom, middle, top. So bottom, middle, top, bottom, middle, top, bottom, middle, top, bottom, middle, top. One more time, it sounds like this. If you're finding this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you have access to all our free piano lessons and tutorials. Remember to give this video a like as well. Method number 3 is called waves. So what was happening there was bottom, middle, top, middle, bottom, middle, top, middle. It feels like the ocean waves. In fact, when you're playing this, try to incorporate a bit of this wrist movement as well. Sway from left to right, now to the C major chord. Sway from left to right, and G major chord. D major chord. And repeat as you please. Method number 4 for playing these chords is called contrary direction. This is where they're going in contrary motions. Okay, so it's going to start from the outer parts of the hands, bum, bum, going to the inner parts of the hands. Bum, 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 bum. Outer parts to inner parts. And outer parts to inner parts. Outer parts to inner parts. Method 4 is probably my personal favorite one. I want to give you just one more bonus method to do this. This is probably more for the intermediate or advanced students, or if you've done all 4 of these and you want a bit of a challenge, here's what it is. This is called the Alberti method. It's where both hands are going outer, inner, middle, inner, outer, inner, middle, inner. So like this. And you'll try to increase the speed as you get more comfortable with it. So there you go. You've learned in this video about chords and chord inversions and why they are useful for creating a very refined and polished sound. So just to recap, we use chord inversions so our hands don't have to jump around too much. We can easily and in a very fluid way move from note to note without huge leaps. If you think about, let's say in a triad, there are 3 notes. If you think about each of them as an individual singer, okay, each of them someone singing ah, someone singing ah, someone singing ah. It's much better to just keep these 2 bottom voices down here and have this top guy sing for a much smoother and refined sound. We've learned 4 methods of doing it: block chords, same direction, waves, and contrary direction. There was a bonus Alberti method too if you're interested to tackle this challenge. How did you go with this exercise? Let me know in the comments below. If you have a piano questions, why not leave the question in the comments? We have a great community here, we all help each other, and also 90% of the content on our channel are inspired from your questions. Have a great day practicing, and I'll catch you in the next piano video.